Hi everybody, Hellcrex here, and welcome to another episode of Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere. And today we're going to be talking about the Hammer. Yes, another one of those Inner Sphere mechs that, well, it could be good, and it could be even better. Alright, the Hammer is a 30-ton mech. It is a 580, no jump jets with this. So it's kind of slow for a 30-ton mech. And it comes with Indo Steel, so hey, yeah, it's like it's got all the nice little bells and whistles being added on. And then it follows up with, well, single heat sinks. It has 11 of them. I'm like, what? Why does it have single heat sinks? I don't know. And then it has 96 points of armor, which is what? Roughly 9 tons short of maximum, so about half a ton. So if you had half a ton extra, you could get by with a little bit on board. And then we have an interesting weapons load. It has 2 LRM-5s, one in each left and right torso with an Artemis on it, and a ton of ammo. Then we have 3 medium lasers, 1 in the head and 2 in the center torso. So weapons loadout isn't so bad. But then you follow it up with a 5.8 mech at 30 tons. It doesn't take much but 1 or 2 shots and this thing is going to be having a hurting day. And if you're like facing off against clans, they just kind of look at it and go, okay, let's just shoot 1 mech at it probably, and that's all it's going to take to really give this thing a bad day and send it on its way. It's like turn around. Now at least it doesn't have not jump jets, but double heat. Can't even say it. XL engines, man, wow, can't even say that. But with a mech that as slow as this, you might think is like, what could they have done to increase, at least make it a 6.9? You know, you could have easily dropped off one of these LRMs and probably made it up to a 6.9 at least, and then use the extra tonnage to turn around and most likely add more armor, you know, at the cost. Because really, to be honest, with 1 LRM that this thing's running around with, it has 2 of them. You could probably get away with just having 1. It's an LRM-5 is nothing that's going to be, you know, screaming home say, "Hey, I need to have this." So, you know, you could easily gotten away with a mech that, with just a single, you know, that you're kind of your harassment. Let me check here. Yeah, easily you could have dropped off. Let me look at this real quick. Let's just do that. Yep. You could have turned around and dropped an LRM-15, make it a 6.9, and still have 2.5 tons left over, and you could have made it a 6.95. Let's just make it a 6.96 for that matter. Yeah, you could have made this a 6.96 mech with just by dropping 1 LRM-5. Easily could have done that. That would have made it actually a pretty decent mech. In the long run, I think a light mech like this as a 5.8 is just asking for disaster. You know, I can understand sort of the whole premise of it. You know, it's sort of a cheap man's what do you call it? Light mech. You know, something to throw into the mix with the battle value is really inexpensive. But in the long run, I don't think it would have been. You would have been better off putting a little more research into it, and not to mention, you know, you got a mech that could have gone with 10 double heat sinks on this thing, and still left you running around with an extra. You could have easily turned this thing into with an LRM, just dropping off an LRM-5, increase the speed at least to a 6.96, and double heat sinks, and you would have had, let's say, 4 medium lasers, LRM-5. that would have made it actually a pretty decent mech, in my opinion. But no, they didn't go that route. So, but you know, it's one of those mechs that when I looked at it on paper, it's like, okay, that's interesting. And I started really delving into it back in the day, and I was like, no, this is a whole bunch of nope. I just couldn't see myself taking or spending any time and money on buying one of these mechs, because it is just so much wrong with it. You know, you're talking 5 years down the line, after 5 years of production, you know, this double heatsink should have been in full swing manufacturing. Everybody, you know, field modifications are done. You know, we're talking a brand new mech that's coming off the line. This thing should have had double heat sinks right off the bat, but it didn't. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever used this mech, ever played with it. I have no memory of ever using this mech in any pickup games or any type of convention games or anything like that. It's just one of those mechs that has just fallen through the cracks, because I think a lot of individuals look at it and go, no, I'm not going to even bother even printing a sheet out for it, because it's, you know, kind of a train wreck from individuals. Now, some of you may have used one before and played with it and said, hey, that's not too bad, but, you know, just on paper from me looking at it, it's sort of a train wreck. Now, the interesting thing is, when it comes to, you got a mech running around 11 heat sinks. Now, you fire the LRMs with this, and you're looking at, oh, what is it? 3, 9, 11, 13, up to 15 heat. You could be right up on the 4 heat scale right off the bat with the weapons loadout on this. And if you had just spent the time to put double heat sinks on it and actually gave yourself another, used that 1 ton for the heat sinks, you know, you could have had a mech that runs really cool. But the way it is, it's not. Now, there are a few variants with this thing. You got the 3C, which they call the claw hammer, which, hey, this is the claw hammer. That's pretty cool. All right, so this is what they say they do with it. They've done it by removing one of the LRMs. Okay, that's what I said. It could be done, and they replace it with 4 additional medium lasers, giving the hammer the ability to attack the enemy with an overwhelming laser barrage at close, and works well as a lance bodyguard for a bunch of hammers. Okay. Did they address the double heatsink problem? No. They added 12 more points of heat. So you now have a mech running around with 7, yes, you heard it, 7 medium lasers. Hey, that's a lot of firepower for a little mech like this. I can't disagree that the idea that they have. But if you fire all 7, you're looking at 21, and if you happen to be running at the time, that's 23. You just went up 12 on the heat scale. So now you're running around with a mech that has a whole bunch of problems even hitting the next turn, and is now a 4-6 mech that is running really slow, and the odds are it's going to die. It's probably going to get that 1 turn barrage off, and then it's going to most likely disappear into a big fireball. Actually, no, wait a minute. If it goes up 12, oh, yeah, it's lost 2 movement points, so it's now a 3-5. Yeah, that's a disaster. That's a disaster area roaming around. I like the concept, but yeah, it needs help. Then we got the 3P. This is the pen hammer, ball peen hammer, as they probably trying to bring it out. It has primary weapons are a pair of stir launchers, okay, backed up by 2 ER medium lasers and 2 small lasers for up close. Okay, once again, you got a mech. You know, they're not talking about improving the heat sink problem with it. So yeah, as much as I like the whole idea of the 2 streak launchers, this kind of reminds me of what you'd find in, like, in a commando. Take a commando and replace the launchers with some streaks. You know, that might work out. But once again, you need something to take care of the heat. And then we got the 3 S version. They call it the Slammer, or Hammer Slammers. The done by, it removes 2 medium lasers and replace them with 2 more tons of ammunition. And this, well, 2 more tons of ammunition. Basically, you got 2 launchers that can fire for 24, was it 24 turns, and you add 2 more, so now you can go 48 turns. How many? It's like this mech will not last in combat that long. It's going to get run down most likely by some fast-moving flankers, you know, lighter mechs, and it will get tore to pieces by those lighter mechs too, most likely, because they'll turn around and try to fight them off, and like, yep, sorry, it's going to rip you to pieces because it's kind of slow. So it's not a mech that's really good at disengaging. You know, I don't think it's possible. All right. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the Hammer. My opinion is drop an LRM-5, increase the engine space, make it at least a 696, and then you can throw another medium laser, or if you really want to, if you have access to, what do you call it, a tag or C3, put some double heat sinks on it, you know, make it a little bit better mech, you know, speed it up a little bit. All right, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Not a mech that's screaming, I gotta go out there and pick her up. Nope, not at all. Hope you guys like it, and we'll see you in the next one. Hellcracks out.